Hey everybody, and welcome back to another awesome day on Pulsechain. Hope you guys can enjoy it. Of course, we are documenting the growth of Pulsechain, and so we're covering a lot of stuff. It's pretty amazing. We're wrapping up day 146 on Pulsechain. 146, isn't that crazy? It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, we're going to be highlighting a couple of things today. We're going to have a look at the tokens that are pumping on Pulsechain at the moment, and maybe the ones that aren't so pumping. We're going to be looking at Mintra, of course. One of the 6 big NFT marketplaces, probably the most professional, polished, the biggest sacrifice. So we're looking for that. Mintra launch is imminent, so we're going to touch on that. And of course, we've got the PulseOG has been sold out, so we're going to talk about that. And the 9MMPro ecosystem is pretty big, actually. So we're going to look at some of the products there quickly as well. Then we're going to get into the Hex Daily Stats and get paid hex.com, folks. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, what I was going to say was don't forget to subscribe on the way in. We're streaming to over 3 channels, and of course, Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto, and of course, Pulsechain YouTube as well. So over 10,000 subscribers there. Definitely, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, share, the bell, all that good stuff. If you haven't gone to our Discord, mate, it's awesome. We got pretty much the most dedicated, biggest Discord on for Pulsechain and Hex on Discord. So join. The link is in the video description. We'll see you in the chat. We've got all the best information and, of course, amazing community in there. So get in there, folks. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, without further ado, let's catch up in the chat. We've got Lois Beneath in the house there. Hello, how are you today? Very good, thank you. The weather's turned a bit for us down under. And, of course, as you guys know, I'm streaming from New Zealand. And, of course, we're at the bottom of the world, but we're in the front of the time zone. And, of course, we're well ahead of most people. So that's pretty cool, but the weather has turned. It's a little bit rainy, wet outside, a little bit cool weather. So, big change from yesterday where we had, I think it was fairly sunny yesterday. So a bit of change there. We got the ultimate there, Hex, EHEX, PLS, PLXX, and incentive token for the win, 100%. Obviously, that's the maxi strategy of this channel, is the Richard Hart gold and crypto. So we're going to be talking more about that later on. A big shout out to Gerardo in the house. So Gerardo is popped in there. Gerardo, of course, top 10 influencer in the Pulsechain Hex space, and of course is also the founder and leading the Mintra NFT project. So we're going to look at that as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Welcome to the chat, Gerardo. We got Maxi as well. Good to see Maxi in the house there on Superman Crypto. Actually, good to see Maxi, and of course Wookie as well is here. Wookie to the moon. I like the moon. We'd always like moons in crypto. We got Bob and the guy as well. Let's go. I think that's what you're trying to say. Let's go. Get something. I don't know what that means, Bob, but I think you mean let's go. We got Harry Williams as well. Yo. Good to see Harry. Welcome to the chat. Brendan says Gerardo in the house. He is indeed. What else do we got? Astrid as well. Woohoo! Good to see Astrid. Welcome to the chat as well. Charity says somehow I ended up in Superman Crypto. Did you? You're on Superman Crypto? Well, welcome to Superman Crypto there. I see your comment as well. You're along there with Maxi Cabby, sorry. So good to see you. Rev 10 as well. Hello. I'm on time. Nice one, Rev 10. It's always good to be on time. What else? We got Crypto Dan. Hi, guys. Good to see Crypto Dan. That is the Discord link if you want to join. That is, thanks, Lives, for posting it. The Hex Token Discord. Join up today. That's all we can say. Join the other 1,250 members in there. We got Brendan says, send some rain over the ditch. Super. Haven't had much here. That's in Australia. So Australia not having too much rain. But we got plenty of rain as well. What else there? We got Hexcavator says, hey gang, good to see Hexcavator. Welcome to the chat. Hexcavator doing some really amazing work there. If you haven't seen his images, jump into our Discord under non-crypto. He posted some of his big work that he does. He does some heavy duty stuff like putting in massive utility pipes and putting up big walls and things like that. It's pretty awesome stuff. Hexcavator, as in the name, Hexcavator. So fits perfectly. Who else we got here? Adam as well. Hello, fellow DGNs. Good to see you, Adam. Welcome and a pleasure as always. Shall we get into it? We're going to start off with the stock market as always. You know why we look at the stock market? Because it's one of the big markets, and we've got to keep aware of what's going on more outside of crypto. So that's why we cover the stock market and the Federal Reserve, so that we're not ignorant of the facts and wonder what happened. You don't want to get taken, be ignorant and not know what's going on. So let's pull it in. And let's have a look at what's going on with the stock market today. Yesterday, of course, it was Green Day, right? Green Day was good news yesterday. And let's have a look at it today. we're going to go up into this spot, I guess, and check it out. So let's get to it. So Dow ends flat as investors on edge ahead of the jobs report. So that is what's coming up there. We've talked about the economic calendar for the month, and we really do have a lot of data coming out, especially around inflation, jobs, and things like that. Now, the Dow Jones was pretty much flat, so that's the top in 30 industrials, sitting at 33,119. The S&P 500 is down slightly, 0.13%. That is at 4,258. The Nasdaq is pretty much down similar, about 12 hundredths of a percent there at 13,219. So it's almost flat, but it's just slightly down. That's the way I might put it there. The US dollar is down against its trading partners by 43 hundredths of a percent. So that's down versus trading partners. And the interesting thing, probably the most interesting, is that the crude oil, the oil which had been rising, has really tapered off. So remember that Saudi Arabia and Russia had reduced the barrels per day, and of course now after the meeting we had earlier this week on Wednesday, the market seems to have tumbled in terms of oil, which is good news around inflation, at least for at the gas. We're talking about the fact that under the Trump administration, it was about, I think, $1.75 or something like that for a gallon in the United States. And now under the Biden administration, it's like $5 or something. So you can let me know if you're in the US, what the prices are near you. What else? We got West Texas there at $82.87. We got Brent oil there at $84. And that's down about 1.7% at the moment on that. But if you look at the month, look at the last month here. On the Brent oil there, look at the price come down here. It was all the way up here on the 28th of September, up here at $95, and look how quickly it's fallen, which is good news, right? Because it had been moving up higher for some time. So we look at the 6 months, you can see ever since June, the oil price has been moving up, and I wonder, have been playing that. And of course, Russia and Saudi and places like that have been maxing out the money from that. So pretty crazy. Gold, of course, has come down. We're at $1,836. That's pretty much up a little bit though today, but that's down quite a bit from where it used to be, up at $1,950. Silver used to be around $24. It's at $21.16, but it's up today about 0.7% there at the moment. So that's sort of the commodities and stock market. The big thing, of course, is the labor market. Labor market continues off mixed signals ahead of Friday's job report. Treasury remains near high. So the Treasury yields, remember those 5-10-year long yields are high. And of course, not surprising given the federal funds rate at 5.5%. Fewer than expected job claims in the week. So obviously we had actual 207,000. Forecast was 210. So those are the initial jobless claims. And the week ended September 23rd, added to mixed picture of the labor market, including surprise uptick in labor demand and slowing private job growth seen so far this week. So a bit of a mixed bag. The jobs report on Friday is set to offer further insight into the labor market. Remember, the Fed is wanting to trade off interest rates, to trade off inflation for jobs. That's essentially the basic summary. But of course, jobs is the last thing to go typically, although we are seeing a mixed signal, which is meaning we're getting a few cracks in the labor market. But I don't think this could keep playing out all the way until the middle of next year. One of the big reasons is after the big C19 events, that people had quite a lot of savings at the time, and that they're pretty much gone through, on average, gone through a lot of that savings. And so now we're going to see the impact of interest rates start to impact more as that impacts consumption, with people not drawing from savings, for example. That's been one big narrative. I tend to take more of a monetarist approach on this. And so I think that having negative monetary growth is really the bigger deal. We should probably have some expansion in monetary growth. So that's kind of where I feel is better if we were going to have a soft landing as opposed to a hard landing, which means we'd be in recession, the middle of next year onwards. The jobs report and that's when we might probably get a Fed pivot, right? When they've caused enough damage. So the jobs report on Friday is set to offer further insight into the labor market that has remained resilient and proven a throw-in in the Fed's side to bring inflation under control. The U.S. economy expected to have created 170,000 jobs last month, so that's what we're expecting to come in on Friday, with wage growth likely to have ticked up by 0.1% for the month, but remain steady at the 12 months through September. So pretty poor results coming out there, but we'll see how we get on with the job growth. The recent strikes in the UAW members at the big three US automakers isn't expected to be reflected in the September report. So it's important to remember we do not assume a drag from labor disputes because the UAW strike started after the beginning of the survey week. And of course, that's going to be coming in, I guess, the following month. Treasury yields retreated again on Thursday. They remained at multi-year highs as investors wary of upside to resume as the jobs report on Friday could signal that the Fed has more work to do to restrict growth. I think that's we're probably going to at least get one rate in there at the moment based on how things are sort of playing out, even with a mixed bag of results. But whether that happens in November or December is to be, we'll find out. At the moment, let's have a look what the market is expecting with the federal rate monitor. We've got 3 weeks and 5 days and 18 hours to go until the next Fed meeting on November the 1st. At the moment, it's definitely market expectations overall with these mixed results. And of course, we've got to take in Friday. And of course, we've got inflation coming out later next week. We've got 20%. Think we're going to have another 25 basis rate hike. So that would, that's pretty low. So most of the market, 80% of the market's expecting a no change from November. But are they thinking the same thing for December? Well, not so much yet. 30% is thinking we might get 25 basis points. So not quite out of the woods yet, even with 2/3 thinking a no change there as well. We may very well get a no change, but don't count out one more rate hike. That was definitely indicated back in the last SEP forecast. So that's kind of where we are on the Fed. All right. I think that's kind of it for the moment. Let's quick look at the economic calendar. I think I've got that for the week while we're here. Let's look at next week's calendar. Yeah, next week's calendar. Look, we've got the purchasing price index coming out on Wednesday, the 11th of October. And then we've got the FOMC minutes come out. That'll be interesting. But then more importantly, we've got the 12th of October. We've got the CPI numbers coming out. Look at those coming out there as well. And some more initial jobless claims. So that is what it's expected. This week, of course, all we've got left is, the unemployment rate and things like that coming out, which is going to be interesting to see that too. All right, that's pretty much it on the markets. Let's jump over to crypto. BTC sort of chumming around at 27,436, which is not too bad, I guess. It is down 1.3% today, though. Let's see whether we get a bit of a move on in the weekend, and we'll see what that job number comes in. Ethereum there at 1614. We're down 2.17% on ETH there. So, the ETH ETFs didn't really do too much, did they? Not a lot of excitement there, and just shaved off. BTC has actually been a better performer this week. But ETH there, a bit of a lackluster there, which is a shame, because ETH really has, a lot of, I think, the economy on it, right? As opposed to BTC, which is more of a store of value. So that is kind of where we're playing at the moment. We've got TON is up 5%. That's pretty much it. Litecoin at the moment is up a little bit as well. AVAX is up a little bit there. ADA is up a little bit. Other than that, it's a slightly down market across the board on crypto. And it'll be interesting. I don't think we got the death cross, and then we got a golden cross. So that's kind of where we were. We might check that again tomorrow after the labor market data comes out and see whether that is a positive or a negative for the crypto. We'll check that out tomorrow's show. That leads us into Pulsechain, of course. Pulsechain having green days, so at least that might be red for general crypto. But Pulsechain is at least green on our charts, and we've got quadruple 0465 on Pulse, 1.76%. We're 47% of the sacrifice price at the moment. That is the mean price, of course. We're over 2x of the whale price, sacrifice price, so not bad there. PulseX there is at quadruple 0121. That is the one that's really discounted, and of course we're down at 12% of sacrifice price there. But we're up 3.56% today. And I do think we're going to get that whip back relative to Pulse at some stage. We've got one Pulse at the moment. We'll get you 3.84 Pulse X, pretty similar to yesterday. And the big cool thing, of course, slowly and surely is the buy and burn. 465.6 billion Pulse X is bought and burnt. Fantastic, right? Just absolutely amazing. And of course, that is 2.25% of the public supply. So it's just slowly churning away. We're at the end of day 146, and it's just slowly churning away there. I love it. And of course, good news for the ecosystem. And it's one of the things that's superior to other chains, right? And it's the sort of secret stuff that will play out over time. So like that. Incentive token at the moment is up 1.72% at $1.08. The ratio to Pulse is 23,236. We just hit 13 million incentive tokens in existence. So that number's just hit up 13 million. And of course, the buy and burn has just hit 100,000 too on the incentive. That's from the TRH game from Jacob and the BNB Pulse Pot team there as well. So kind of good news there. We did have some updates on TRH game. If you want to check that out, that's in our Discord. Thanks to Archie for posting that. You can go to Pulsechain and the Pulsechain chat. We have 7 chats in the Discord, the Pulsechain chat. You can get in there, and of course, we get a lot of our cool moderators and stuff like that. They post really cool updates. All of our cool members post updates. You get a lot of intelligence about projects really, really quickly in our Discord. It is I think it's the only place out there that I'm aware of that really has a supportive social environment where people are, really helping each other and getting the latest information really early. It's not a real DGN place in the sense that you don't know, everybody's in it for himself. So it really is a camaraderie in there. So if you like that, join our Discord as well. All right, Hex at the moment, PHEX 00833 at the moment. So looking good, 8300th of a penny. And we've got EHEX there at pretty much the same as yesterday, 0034. But PHEX is doing pretty nice, up 1.44%. The combined price of PHEX and EHEX is at 1.17 cents combined, which is pretty good. 1 PHEX equals 179 Pulse, which is a little bit weaker than yesterday. But 1 PHEX will get you 2.48 EHEX at the moment. So quite a bit stronger there on the PHEX. Let's jump over to the charts, have a look at that. And of course, here we are at quadruple 04655. We've got a nice little triangle there, ascending triangle. Let's see whether we can bust out of that. Now or never. But yeah, definitely looking pretty good there. I've added a few extra things on here. I definitely would like to get over the 5,000, but even better would be a nice little rally over 5,600 and trying to hold that, consolidate over that would be pretty neat. So that's kind of the play there. We definitely got a rising Bollinger Band. Look at that. See the rising Bollinger Band there? So everything's looking pretty good for the old Pulsechain. As long as we don't get anything in the market that's like generally major negative, I think we're looking good for slowly, etching our way up there. And we might have quite a big little power move coming up in the future. So we'll watch out for that. Definitely RSI is on the upward ascendancy. We're at 57. We've got plenty of room to move on that. We just need some bit more volume to come into the play. And of course, more financial economic energy coming through Coast, more financial economic energy coming through the cost chain bridges. Those sort of things are really cool. Obviously, we've got the official bridge out there now. We've got Pulse LN. We've got BNB bridges. So we've definitely got different sources, and we want to keep building that, as an ecosystem, keep building that sort of stuff. So not bad at the moment. That is the old Pulsechain. Let's have a look at PulseX quickly. PulseX looking pretty similar, obviously. Bonded liquidity, all that good stuff. But I do expect to see a relativity change between PulseX and Pulse sometime in the future. And of course, there are a couple of catalysts potentially for that. Single-side staking pools, the DAO, maybe a third-party application, maybe PulseX, maybe Power City Earn Protocol, something like that, maybe a combination. Definitely help with the relativity switch in terms of the mad gains, because obviously PulseX has a lot of potential for recovering even back to, at the very minimum, back to sacrifice price, which is 700% mad gains. So we'll watch out for that. And of course, the RSI too is pretty similar on the ascendancy there as well, 54 at the moment. So we were looking out for that. And not as aggressive on the Bollinger Band as you saw in Pulse. Pulse there, look at that. Pulse much more aggressive looking there, but of course it is more narrow here on the old PulseX, so we're looking out for that too. All right, the incentive token there is at $1.08. Looking at the ratio at the moment, let's check that out. The ratio 23,000, so we're just still shedding. Obviously, PulseX farm is still just minting out more incentive tokens, and it's just slowly shedding there at the moment. Like I say, maybe some of those catalysts might lift both PulseX and incentive there. We'll have a look. We'll wait and see. Hex, let's have a look at Hex. I don't know why I've got it on the 15-minute chart, but that is Hex there at the moment. It's PHEX, I should say. We've got higher lows looking pretty good. We've got a tightening Bollinger Band. Look at that. Woo! And we're sitting over the 50% mark. Bring it on, man. Bring it on. We've had 3 rejections pretty much. 1, a 2, a 3. And but we've still got higher lows here. Let's see how we go as well. And see if we can get this ascendancy breaking out on the 4th attempt. Let's see if we get a 4th attempt breakout on that one on PHEX. Fingers crossed for that. That would really, really be bullish. getting a nice little breakout on PHEX. And of course, the RSI is super chill at 51. So I think there's plenty of room to move on that. EHEX, of course, is what I call a poor cousin. And that is still at 3300th of a penny there. Definitely slugging along there. Of course, this is on the Bridgeton EHEX match bonded with Pulsechain, as opposed to the one on Ethereum, which is, mixed in with USDC and ETH there. So that's how we're chilling at the moment. All right, so those are the markets. Let's jump away from the Richard Hart Gold and cryptos. We're going to jump over to the validators, which have been crushing at the moment. Let's have a look here. 44,255 Pulsechain is the people's chain. Is validated around the world. You can see it on the globe by everybody, and we thank you for your service. So there we are. That is how it rock and rolls. We've got 1.42 trillion off the market at the moment, which is about 9.3% of the public supply. And of course, this doesn't include the 4,096 Genesis validators. They've burned 134 billion volts, something like that. And of course, we also have the EIP 1559 burning going on with all the blocks. And of course, we're net deflationary compared to the Ethereum. On top of that, of course, we've got Pulse liquid loans coming. And of course, that's going to collateralize Pulse, just like Earn Protocol from PowerCity is going to collateralize PulseX, adding a new feature set to that. And of course, potentially getting a ton of it off the market. And of course, flooding Pulsechain and PulseX with stable coins as well. And not only that, but the biggest thing of them all, leveraged lending. So we're looking forward to that too. So it's going to be a lot of fun. That is pretty much the highlights there. Let's go to gas. The gas prices there. We've actually had pretty low gas this week compared to the last 2 weeks. And of course, at the moment, just as we're talking, we've got a little spike in here, but we've actually been down much lower, around about 500,000 beats, which is not too bad. Currently at 775,000 beats, so a little bit higher on a spike at the moment. But we're 1 cent for a PulseX swap, 800th of a penny for a Pulse coin transfer. That's 16 Pulse equivalent. And of course, we're at 2/10 of a penny for a PRC transfer. So it's pretty cheap actually at the moment on the Pulse chain. We're 268 times cheaper than Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment is still super cheap. Like last year, Ethereum was super cheap. We'll probably start to lose that as we head into mid-late October, is my guess, if we have something similar to last year. And, we'll start to see those Gwei on Ethereum get back into the teens. But at the moment, it's pretty cheap on Ethereum as well, relatively speaking. But that said, while it might be, 6-7 Gwei on Ethereum, it is 268 times cheaper, or 340 now at the moment on the old Pulse chain. So even though Ethereum is as cheap as chips at the moment, Pulse chain is 340 times cheaper than that, which is pretty awesome. And that really, what does that really matter? It really matters around the protocols, right? That you can have protocols that have compounding and things like that. That's what really matters. The fact that you can just go in and out of, stake and approve and all these things without almost being cost you nothing is a really good thing. But as we say, the more popular that Pulse chain gets, we've got so many projects, maybe 180 projects at least native to Pulse chain coming, and more projects popping up out of everywhere to jump on the Pulse chain. People are starting to get it. They're starting to get the fact that superior tokenomics, and of course, we've got a battle-tested Ethereum fork. They really are starting to get it, and we've got more dev teams coming over. And of course, the opportunities are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The tokens, of course, PulseX is buying and burning. It's just decreasing the tokens. Really is just starting to build, just sort of simmering there. We're on day 146. You can see what happens at day 200, day 300. You can just see that it just keeps momentum going. A lot of the other chains are pretty much empty. There's a lot of people who are in it for themselves. It's very degen. It's really, whereas Pulse chain's like this massive community. You can feel the vibe. It's just and it's resilient too, right? After the SEC event, it's resilient. And of course, it's just continuing to push on, soldier on there. So lots of excitement, I think, as well. So it definitely is the place to be. All right, let's jump away to the major categories. We're going to get into top PRC 20s. Before we do, though, let's get into the chat. The meme coins and the Pulse chain projects. We're going to get into the big updates around Mintra and, of course, around 9MM. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up. Let's see who else has jumped in the chat here. Woohoo! I hope you're getting excited, man. Accumulate. That's what you say. Let's see. We've got Astrid in the house there. Woohoo! Good to see Astrid. Who else there? Jump over here. I think we got up to Adam, so I'm just past that. PSI, serious FOMO in those PulseOG, says PSI. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. It's coming up soon. We'll talk about how successful that was, because it does look pretty successful. Craig Pitt there. Morning, everybody. Good to see you, Craig. Astrid as well. I like that. We got Yay Instinct token. Yeah, well, the yields have been really attractive on that. I'm going to pull that up actually. Let's have a quick look at the farm yields. I do every so often. Probably should bring it up every day, but we've got such a lot of info to talk about. It gets quite busy. Let's have a look at the farms at the moment. Look at these yields because they're still looking pretty good. So let's pull that in. Bam. That is the yield at the moment on the farms. They're still very attractive, honestly. Day 146, and we've got DAI, USDC, wrapped ETH, and USD Tether. The APRs are still 50 to 60%. Look at them all, amazing. So that's really good news. The PulseX Pulse and Hex Pulse still pretty nice too, 10%, 13%, and incentive token there is still up at like 55%. And we just hit, of course, that new milestone there. It's huge. So still really nice returns, and so too, the V2 farms as well. The pools are still some of the pools are earning some spectacular fees as they're very popular turnovers. Now it doesn't always come up when I go look at it, but it's definitely something you could consider as well. All right, what else? Let's see what else. Let's see. We got Tintop in the house there. What's up, Hexkins? Good to see you, Tintop. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. Let's jump through some of that. We've got Brian in the house, our community leader. Good to see you, Brian. Big shout out to you. We've got Blair SM in the house there. Hi, all. Good to see you, Blair. Brian says, watching on the phone. Can't chat real good on it. Okay, Brian. Thanks very much for that. And Joey Torres as well. Hi, all. Good to see you, Joey. Welcome to the chat. Let's get into it, folks. Let's jump over to the top PRC20s and have a look at that. Bam. Let's go. And I've got it sorted by liquidity, right? So that's kind of the significant liquidity on the pools. We've got PDAI, which has been the talk of the town. A lot of people love this. And, of course, at the moment, it's still hanging over the 1/10 of a penny. So we had 3 nice little days here, looking really good. And, of course, now we've had a bit of a pullback. We're up to 0.05 of a penny. We're down to 1/10 of a penny at the moment. But, yeah, we'll be watching this as well. Can it get to the glorious 1 cent? That is the next goal, right? Can it do it? We will find out. And, of course, will the share narrative play out? Of course, this is DAI Atropa, and everyone's obviously talked about Atropa there. I think Dipcatcher is in this, the Maximus dev and influencer is talked about Atropa yesterday in one of his live streams. So you want to check out that, it's definitely worth checking out. We've got 1/10 of a penny at the moment. We're watching out for this, see where it goes as well. What else do we got? The Wrap Bitcoin is managing to hold on to around the support area. So let's quick look at that. Wrap Bitcoin at the moment, $87.41. Just chilling in here at the moment. So we'll keep a tab on it, see what it does. What else there? Teddy Bear, which has been a big performing star. Teddy Bear has been doing very well lately. That chilled out. So we had 3 up days, just chilling out. Looks pretty much like we saw with some of the other charts there with PDAI. And it's just down a little bit at the moment. So we'll see where that goes. That was down pretty high, right? Went pretty high, down pretty low, but it's had a nice couple of days in the office there too. Treasury bill, of course, is down 18% as well. Let's quick look at that. That's been performing pretty well too. Yeah, a couple of good days and all down now. So the patterns look pretty similar as one might expect generally for these type of speculative assets. That's kind of the high play there. Let's look by percentages. We're switching to percentages now. We've got Fetch there. Has got hardly no liquidity, so we'll jump through that. Yeah, Curve there up 9.9%, 4,300 in liquidity, so not a lot of liquidity, but that is up there. LUSD, the copy, of course, of liquidity is up 3.6%. Let's have a quick look at that. Yeah, let's get out of the zoom there. Pretty much on the bottom there, isn't it? So that is pretty much liquidity. Let's jump over to, or at least the stable coin for liquidity. And we've got Pepe there at the moment. So have a quick look at Pepe. I'm going to do that by liquidity, actually. Let's go down and have a look for SHIB and Pepe. Now, we're waiting for the 9-inch DEX to launch. $16 million sacrifice for that. And SHIB and Pepe, I think, are going to do pretty well when that does come out. You've got to front run a lot of those moves, right? If you're going to get most of the mad gains. We've definitely got a slight little uptrend here on SHIB. That's at 13.33. You kind of got to take a bit of a leap of faith, but if you believe that it's going to get supported by the 9-inch DEX, that could be very bullish. If the community rallies for that, we'll see. And of course, the other one is Pepe. Let's have a look at the Pepe one there. Pepe down at the bottom too. All of these potentially, if they get supported on 9-inch DEX, could have quite a nice little super pump. We're looking up at that. that's pretty much it on that. Let's jump over to the medium-sized meme coins. Really the same narrative as always, but we have had Access Alive, who's an influence in the space, a TA specialist, really. And of course, he is, it's got his Access token here. Is it now at $9,400? So that's pretty amazing. There's not much in liquidity, remember. There's 6, I think there was, what do we say, 1 million in tokens. There's 1 million tokens. Let me have a look. Yeah, 1 million Access tokens. They're all sitting probably in Access's wallet there. 999,680 tokens in there. So there we are. And if they're all valued at this price, what's the market cap at the moment? 9.39 billion. Only in crypto, right? Only in crypto. That's hilarious. All right. So we've got liquidity at 117K. That's fairly rare relative to the price, of course. But that's pretty much how that's going. How many people are playing around with this? 214 makers in there. Those are unique wallets that have bought or sold this pair. That's pretty much. And yes, up 6%. So it was like doing things like 100%. It's now up at 6%, but still holding up there. The volume's falling off though. So watch the space on that one. There's not many tokens in the actual pool, right? 6 Access in the pool. There's 1 million tokens, but it's only 6 in the pool there. But there's 1.25 billion Pulse in there at the moment. Let's see how that goes tomorrow over the weekend. But pretty hilarious, that one. We got Where the ETH Go is up 5.5%. Poor Pleb at the moment up 2%. And PulseOG is down 18%. So a bit of profit taking on there, which is kind of cool. What we're looking for, right? You guys know that I said if we got down to 3,000 down here, that'd be quite a nice entry, right? But this thing had been stubbornly holding up here and hadn't come back down. Now, why are we interested in this? Because there's not that many holders. And of course, when 9-inch DEX launches, this could be one of the real big pumpamentals, right? PulseOG. It is one of the founders coins for 9-inch. And Hexy Busters already talked about these, where the ETH Go, Poor Pleb, and PulseOG getting single-side staking support and BBC tokens. So we're watching out for that. Obviously not financial advice, but we're playing probability there. And I'm excited. So let's see. It's not quite down there at the moment, but definitely even getting it cheaper today is kind of cool. It's currently at 4,700 with 2 zeros, so 4,700th of a penny. But man, if you get it for 3/10 of a penny, sort of at the top of this range, that'd be pretty mad if it does do that. Because obviously 9-inch DEX not out yet. That may do it. So we'll be watching that. Those are pretty much the highlights. Let's look by percentage. Actually, the big move is Hex Orange address. That is up 39%. Look at that. Nice little green candle for the Hex Orange address there. That's sort of A-Bit's one, isn't it? A-Bit, one of the influencers there, loves that. And that's at 1,700 of a penny at the moment. Anything else that's pretty interesting? Let's have a look. No, that's pretty much it. So the really standout performance today is Hex Orange address. That leads us into our main category, Pulsechain projects. And let's have a look by liquidity. Liquidity at the moment, the top one, Spark Swap up 5%. Tetra is up 5%. We're waiting for some, big news around Tetra and their products. We've got Patias is up 2.5%. Obviously, we talked about that. What it hit yesterday, we talked about it hitting over 100,000 transactions, something. It's gone up to now over 6% of the transaction volume on Pulsechain, which is pretty awesome with a lot of swapping. So very popular DEX aggregator. Time token, of course, from the Internet Money Wallet up 9.3%. Good to see that as well. And of course, they're hitting new records with the adoption. And we're expecting 2 to 4 weeks for the time to have its final order and go from final beta into V1 commercial use, which I think is going to be a very important milestone, especially if you're an influencer, if you want to, encourage people to use that. It's important to get to that next stage. I think that's kind of cool. Data token finance is down 13%, sort of a big downer there. But Texan token, look at that, up 63%. Let's have a quick look at Texan token. That's the DAO token, right? One of the first DAO token endowment token on the blockchain. And look at that, got super pumped. That is insane. So super pumped there on the old Texan. Wow. I wonder what's going on there. And that's kind of the highlights there, I think, at the moment. Ophir got super pumped as well. So this is the other endowment token from Rag to Riches and Crypto Heartbeat. Both of them got super pumped. So there we are. Bam. Up 60%. So congratulations. Relatively small liquidity, 30K and 11K respectively. But man, nice day in the office there as well. I think that's kind of the highlights there. Actually, C token from TRH and is up 38%, and Texan token, which is also part of that. So Texan token, Ophir, that is up pretty amazing. Look at that stuff. That's the other pool. I think that's the other pool. All right. So yeah, not bad there as well. Yeah, the sort of the outlining there is the seed token from TRH, and that is up 40%. So nice little day in the office there, but still very much on the bottom, as you can see, relatively speaking. But of course, we've got an update in the Discord if you want to check that out on TRH game and some of the adjustments they're making from the compromise that they had a little while back there. So trying to make things right for people. That's pretty much it. So that leads us into the big updates today, and that is Mintra. Mintra, of course, is for those that believed. For those that still believe, launch is imminent. And of course, you guys know this has pretty much been, I think, overall my favorite NFT marketplace environment because it's so professional. I love the green, and I think that it's really, really slick. And so I'm really excited about this. I think that so far we've got 4 NFT marketplaces out at the moment that are of significance, and we're going to have the top 6. Obviously, we've got Pixel Park coming down the road track too, and also we're going to talk about 9MM, which have got their own NFT market. But Mintra, I think for me, if I was to really have to rank them, would probably be at the top in terms of the look, the feel, the functionality, and of course they really have taken a lot of care to make sure everything is looking good. So it's not just NFTs, staking, of course, Mintra. So I'm really excited about this, and of course Gerardo is an influencer there as well. It's always good having an influencer that backs the product, that's leading the product there as well. You know that you're getting a lot of promotion activities and things like that, so it's kind of cool. So Mintra is for those that believed, and for those that are still believe, a launch is imminent, and the artwork's pretty cool. So look at that, it looks great, which is pretty neat. Now they also have on the 2nd of October, so currently it's around the 5th of October, right, in the United States. On the 2nd of October, they did deploy their final testnet, and that was really cool. New features and massive updates. Key final step closer to Pulsechain mainnet. And of course, today they came out with this big teaser here about it being launch is imminent. So very excited about that. Short testnet, maybe. That is exciting. So it could be any day now, right? Over the weekend, possibly. We'll be keeping a lookout for that. But very excited about the Mintra there. Let's have a quick look at some of the updates from testnet. Mintra has just launched the latest testnet. This was on the 2nd. And of course, it's on Pulsechain Testnet V4. If you want to get access to Pulsechain Testnet V4, of course, you can join our Discord. Go under useful links. We've got all the links for Pulsechain Testnet V4 under useful links. So definitely get that. And you can play around on the old Mintra there. They've got the NFT. Look how professional the site is. So good. These guys have not. These guys have done it the right way. It really is beautiful. We've talked about this when it's been under testnet before, but really, really cool to see this as well. An NFT app like Mintra is no easy task. There's a constant battle between the demand for shiny new features and the subtle yet ever-growing challenges of scope creep. This leads to constant decision-making between nice-to-have things versus critical features for MVP public releases. Really cool. You know the other thing about this? All the English makes sense, which is really nice to see. No spelling mistakes or anything like that. I like that. There are some features that we deem to be absolutely critical for Mintra's final testnet release and ultimately the mainnet release, and now they're here. So it looks like mainnet is imminent. That's going to be cool, at least the Mintra token. And so that's pretty excited. I know people that sacrifice for it will be pretty happy about that. Let's quickly go and have a look at how much actually people sacrificed. I think it was 16 million. I'm just going to double check. Let's go have a look and have a look for that. I'm pretty sure it was 16 million. Let's see. I think it's this one here, Mintra. And how much does it say on here? 10.6. So 10.6. So it wasn't 16, 10.6 million based on these numbers here. So that was still one of the top sacrifice projects on Pulsechain. So a big, big deal there. So yeah, they did some performance and UX updates. They increased the Explorer users, and of course NFTs can be a social experience too. Whether you want to see who is spending the most, making the most, selling the most NFTs, you can easily sort Mintra users by top earners, top spenders, and most items sold. So I think it's pretty cool on the Explorer page. They got a number of miscellaneous updates there. I'm just going to jump through that. I will post the links to this in a minute. We've got some Solidity stuff there around ESC 20 1155 support and ESC 20 support, or at least in Pulsechain being PRCs 1155s and 20s. What else there? Yeah, kind of cool. They obviously from .pls domain names. We talked about this yesterday. Remember on one of our updates to game items, to metaverse land, and more. And this metaverse land, of course, is going to be, I think, fairly popular too on the social stuff. We've got quite a few social platforms that are coming that will probably boost up the social networking for Pulsechain community, and I think that's going to be fun. We haven't got a lot of them at the moment, but definitely I think that would be cool. There are many ERC20, ERC 1155 collections users know and love. Obviously, PRC20, PRC 1155s, so that's going to be pretty cool. As the leading NFT marketplace on Pulsechain, the ability to support both the first and second most popular NFT standards was a no-brainer, so it's all good. Let's jump through some of that. The fees, let's get to the fees here. With the introduction of PRC20 support to trade NFTs on Mintra, tokenomics for both mint staking rewards and buy and burn bounties had to adapt. After careful thought, we came up with a brilliant solution. Mintra's fee splitter smart contract now splits the token balances into 3 unique categories: PLS, Mint, which is the sacrifice token there, and all other PRC20 tokens as well. These different categories determine the path which through different tokens flow after they've been collected as fees. So that's pretty cool. So we've got Pulse here. The platform fee is 2.25% on Pulse, and 1/3 is going to go to Mint staking rewards. So good luck to you if you sacrifice for that, or you buy it on the market and stake it. 1/3 goes to Mint buy and burn. So PLS gets swapped for Mint, and then Mint gets burned, so which is bullish for burn. So you're getting the rewards, plus you're getting the tokens getting burned away. And then 1/3 for the root address there. I guess that's a team address, something like that. Mint there is user pays 1.5% platform fees in the Mint token, 33% less than everybody else, and a full amount is burned, so that's bullish too. All other PRC20 tokens, 2.25% platform fees, 1/3 for the Mint staking rewards, 1/3 for a Mint buy and burn, and 1/3 for the root address there. What else? They got the burn flush page as well, which is kind of cool. Jump through that. They've also had a second audit, and that audit can be found on Coin Fabric there as well. So not bad. What next? What next, they say? So the testnet, of course, is the closest thing to the mainnet, and of course, mainnet now looks like it's imminent. Really, really cool. And of course, they encourage you to play around with the site there as well. And of course, you guys know we've looked at the site several times, but this is the latest and greatest. You can go to the Explore page to look at all the sales listings and things like that. We'll quickly look at one of those, and you can see some of the NFTs on there as well. Now, the thing I like about Mintra is that it really feels like the best UI for me. I really like the UI. I like the colors, and I just really think it pops. It's very clean and professional. So I really do like that. And of course, the rendering is really fast. Look at the rendering there. I'm really happy with that. That's a really, really neat. And of course, they upgraded this a bit in the second testnet, which is pretty cool. So good to see that. They got the Explore page, the auction listing page. So kind of neat there. And I know GameFi is going to be popular in here. Influencer NFT is going to be popular. DeFi NFTs. So many things going to be out around NFTs. It's really going to be crazy good, right? So I think that's going to be neat. And we're going to talk about the 9MM project in a minute. So really, really cool. Now, obviously, they've got auctions. They've got drops. Participate in live NFT drops. This will be super popular. You guys know it. People are hunting these things all the time. So upcoming drops, they're going to be really popular as well. So I think that's a really cool feature. And I could see a lot of influencers and project team leaders using that stuff to drops a lot of their projects. Collections, of course, having a good look at collections as well. Now, in Discord on Hex Token, we have a dedicated chat for NFTs. So you can get in there and talk about collections and NFTs and all sorts of stuff. And sometimes, project teams like to come in and try to airdrop stuff to people in there. So it's kind of like the upside there to get some freebies. So definitely join our Discord for that. Right. That is kind of cool. Users, you can interact with other users. And I think this is a really special feature, is this being able to interact with other users. Look at all these people. Looks really, really good. That looks like Gerardo there. But kind of cool. Pulse domains. Yeah, this will be very popular, this aspect around the social there. So cool. Obviously, if you sacrifice for Mintra, you're one of those $10 million people. You got the staking there. You can stake your Mint tokens there, which is pretty cool. That's really neat. And what else there? Burn. And of course, the burn mechanisms here, burning as well. So you can have all the stats of the site. It's going to be really cool. And of course, burn. And of course, select tokens to flush them, which are pretty cool. They've got a lot of learning. They've got the contract addresses, which means you're not getting, confused about what is the contract. They've got the official contracts in here. They'll have all that when it goes live, so it's pretty neat. You can see those down there. Look at that, pretty cool. And all the other contracts too. That's very, very nice. The blog, they've got a nice blog for education and updates, which is pretty cool. FAQs, of course, if you've got any questions. General NFTs, beautifully laid out. As I say, I really am a big fan of this and project done right, which is pretty nice there. Mint supply, mint statement, token pool. We've got all the collections, number of collections on there. Really great stats, like overview, total volume. Really, really neat there. Number of users. This is really great. So look at that mint supply charts there. Beautiful, nice. As you guys know, Gerard is famous for providing really good charts and data. So I'm not surprised that they look so smooth. You got new requests. If you want to do a new request, you can do that too. And of course, request the leaderboard as well. So I think they're going to have a lot of project teams request for that. That's pretty good. So really, this is getting close. We're about to have our fifth big NFT market launch, and arguably, the slickest. I think it really does look pretty good. So that's going to be a lot of fun there. That is from Gerardo, and launch is imminent. So we'll keep a tab on that. And if it comes out tomorrow or the weekend, we'll find out. I'll stay tuned for all that. Now, that's kind of it on there. We're going to jump away from Mintra, and let's see if we've got any comments in the chat there about that before we do. We're about to go to 9MMPro to look at what they've been doing today. What do we got to there? We've got Jazz is in the house there. Hi, good to see you, Jazz. Jace, I should say. Who else is there? Charity. No, we can jump past Charity there. PSI is in the house, so we're going to talk about that. PSI is saying 9MM has made what essentially a sacrifice more fun with NFTs. Well, we're going to jump through that. Let's go into 9MM because 9MM there has their PulseOG collection has officially minted out all the 5555 NFTs, which is huge. So 5,555. That is really hard to sell out that many, and they're all sold out. And yeah, this is like a DeFi, a way of doing it by DeFi straight off the bat there. So Team 9MM would like to thank each and every individual that helped make the mint a success. Special shout out to the Tang Gang, community for showing up daily to spread awareness of the 9M ecosystem. Thank you for all your support. And of course, there we are. They're all sold out. Amazing. Now, one of the kickers here, right? We've talked about NFT collections that are early doing tokens like PRC20 tokens as part of their staking and earnings. Those, I believe, the early ones in particular will do very well. And of course, PulseOG here has got it built in to the NFTs here, as PSI points out. Their collection of 5,555 NFTs from Team 9MM that gives you airdrops of 9MM tokens for 20 months. So you can get, if you're on these tokens, you get airdrops of the token for 20 months. So it's going to be pretty bullish there. That's number 5552 is minted out. So well done to the team there. Pretty crazy on that one. So pretty cool. What else there? We got PSI says V3 on Pulsechain could be bullish too. Yes, they are doing it. So PSI front running a lot of the content today. But this is the NFTs that you can see that people have been purchasing on there, and they're going to get 9MM tokens for 20 months there, airdrop to them, which is pretty cool. You can see it's sold out here on that too. What I was going to say about that is that 9MM is doing a number of, they've got an ecosystem dropping on Pulsechain, and that includes, as someone put here, I think we talked about this the other day, we already talked about the V3 DEX, which is going to be coming up as PSI has commented on them. And that we've had a look at that the other day. But they're also obviously doing an Explorer as well. I think there's a couple of comments here. Marco the Hexkin here talking about they came and said they would create a DEX, a block Explorer, and an NFT marketplace. I think the block Explorer is already up, but the NFT marketplace as well coming as well with that collection. So another NFT marketplace is going to be bullish too. So lots of ecosystems dropping. I like it when we got teams coming in, not just doing one protocol, one-off wonder, but coming in and doing ecosystems is awesome. The more project teams that come in and build out a suite of products really builds a lot of value onto Pulsechain, and that's fantastic. So big shout out to 9MM for having a big vision. Really is cool like that. So very neat there. Now, just an official clarification, buying a PulseOG off any secondary market resale does not maintain the full airdrop potential that minting and holding does. Remember that. So that's important. 30% of the 1 billion fixed 9MM supply will be airdropped to minters of the PulseOG NFTs. So that's very important to know. Note, it's not a 30% unlock at launch. It's a 1.5% monthly over 20 months. So that's how they're distributing that 30% of 1 billion tokens. So 300 million tokens are going to the NFT holders. But very important disclaimer there. Buying a PulseOG off any secondary market resale does not maintain the full airdrop potential that minting and holding does. So remember that. Holders, buyers from secondary market gets 10% and 0.5% monthly over 20 months. So you're going to get 10% rather than the 30%. So remember that. That's a big but important thing to know. Minting and then holding will give the full 40%. So minting and then holding will give the full 40%. We hope this clears the misconception anyone may have regarding the airdrop distribution. So there we are. That was important to know. So good little that I covered that there as well. But in any case, they are bringing some decent DeFi to Pulsechain, and that's great to see, as well as NFTs. There's a PulseOG. Going to be popular, no doubt, with that kind of setup. All right, that is pretty much it on there, and we're going to jump away to that. We're going to get the Hex Daily Stats course, hex.com. Let's check it out. Before we do, though, let's catch up on a few comments. This is our sort of final topic for the day. We're doing pretty good time today, 52 minutes. That's pretty fast for me. What else? Let's jump there. Good DEX fees, maybe to 9MM holders, says PSI. Yeah, it looks like they might accumulate quite a bit of economic opportunity there. Crypto Truth says, amazing to see everybody. Good to see you, Crypto Truth. Superman on the update alpha. Yeah, we're trying to bring it because we're enjoying it. We're documenting the rollout of Pulsechain, and you don't miss a beat on here on Hex Token, Superman Crypto, and Pulsechain YouTube. And of course, get into our Discord as well if you want to stay up with the latest and greatest. We've got some amazing community members and moderators that bring the alpha every day as well. When who says Robbie? Hey, Robbie, good to see you. Brendan says, I got a couple of free NFTs being in the Discord. Yeah, it's been pretty good in the Discord with some of those. And we got another team just dropped in yesterday. I wanted to drop some NFTs as well. So good place to be. PSI says, thanks for spreading the good word, Superman. Sorry, I can't get on live very much these days, but I'm always hitting the replays. Nice one, PSI. Appreciate that. Big thank you. Crypto Truth says, I am all in on Pulsechain, Hex, and PulseX. Very good. Wise, very wise, I should say as well. Watching all the eggs in a basket, says Crypto Truth. Indeed. Did you get any PUSG, Superman? No, I did not. A PSI, no, haven't. Crypto Truth says, and like Kobe said, make some more eggs, says Crypto Truth. Indeed. All right, let's get into the final topic, which is hex.com. We're going to check out the Hex daily payouts. You can get Hex on Pulsechain or Hex on Ethereum. So we're going to be covering day 1403, but that's not off. So we haven't got 1403 for Ethereum, so we'll have to wait a bit longer for that. But we have got it for Pulsechain. So 1403 on Pulsechain is actually day 146. So that's the 5th of October. We've got the price there at 83/100th of a penny, and we're at 1.2%. So we've had 2 up days for Hex on Pulsechain. The payout today, this is the main thing that we're after, is 6.624. So 6.624 Hex per T-share is up, but the share rate is up today too. It's 95 Hex today. That's a pretty big jump in the share rate. Although you guys know, by the time we get to the 22nd of November, we're expecting a big giant jump in the share rate of 1400 Hex per day. It's going to be massive, dudes. And it's on by the time we get to the end of the year, this 29,700 is expected to be somewhere like 32,500. So earlier pays better with Hex, getting those T-shares earlier, because it's just going to cost you more, without using the longer pays better bonus or anything like that than it is today. So really, it's going to be crazy. Average mining net then 6.96 years. APY for existing T-share miners is 38.32%. Let's have a look at the ownership pool. The decrease in ownership, so T-shares have gone down 6,529, and we're sitting at 9,821,000 T-shares at the moment. So yeah, becoming an exclusive club of T-share holders. Liquid lock percentage of coins, 9.5% of all Hex is locked on the old Pulsechain. We've got under 500,000 in penalties today. The reward pool's got 65 million Hex in it. So basically what you can do is you can buy Hex and you burn it for T-shares, which stands for trillions of shares. And those T-shares are in the ownership pool. And of course, you get a share of the reward pool or the payout pool every day. And it's got 65 million Hex in it most days. So pretty amazing. How do you get more T shares? Longer pays better. You get up to 20% more shares per year up to 10 years, which is 200% more. So the longer the better, longer pays better. And of course, bigger pays better, up to 10% bonus, up to 150 million Hex. So that's bigger too, right? So very cool. All right. And if you get more T-shares, you get more of the rewards. Pretty much that how it works. We're at 42 liquid holders on the old Pulsechain, up 26 miners today on Pulsechain, which is really good. And we're at 124,277 miners on the old Pulsechain. So that's day 146 results there for Hex on Pulsechain, which is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Oh, we've got the eHex out as well. I said it would just wait a minute or two. We've got the 5th of October for Hex on Ethereum. We've got the prices at 3300th of a penny. That is down slightly from yesterday. Yesterday we had a 6.6% increase. The payout for T-share, 6.65 Hex per T-share. And the share rate there jumped over 108. So we're sitting at 29,727. We're so close to 30,000. It's insane in the membrane. And remember, the 22nd of November, we're expecting about a 1,400 Hex per T-share jump. So just remember that earlier pays better, longer pays better, bigger pays better. That's how you get more T-shares. Average mining length, 7.1 years is the average mining length on the old Ethereum side. And that means that obviously it's longer than on the Pulsechain side. We've got APY 39.23%. That's higher as well. Let's have a look at the T-shares. T-shares are that down 5,879. We've got 9,772,370 T-shares. So what's that, about 50,000 T-shares difference between Ethereum and Pulsechain, with Pulsechain obviously having more. They've got 9.29% of all hexes locked on the Ethereum side. We've got 319,000 in penalties, a pretty low day, sitting with about 65 million in the reward pool there. And we're down 10 holders in the liquid holders on the old Ethereum side for Hex, and we're down 10 miners on the Ethereum side. We're sitting at 119,964. So we're about, about 4,300 more miners on Pulsechain than there is on Ethereum now. That is pretty much how we rock and roll for day 1,403. So we've just started day 1,404 on Ethereum and day 147 on Pulsechain. Hex.com, folks, check it out. Get Hex, burn it for T-shares, and start mining Hex today. Not financial advice, of course. Do your due diligence. But if you have any questions, we do have a crypto helpline. That sounds like an Irish thing. We do have a crypto helpline in the Discord if you need any help as well. And we've got some really amazing people that know Hex upside down. And I'm speaking to you, Brian. I know you're out there. I know you're out there. He's our community leader. He's the master of them all. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's get back into the final comments. We're up to 58 minutes on the hour, which is pretty fast for me. You guys know, normally I like to max out maybe an hour and 15 minutes tops. But today I think we're crushing it. So really cool. A big congratulations to 9MM on selling out their PulseOGs. Congratulations to all the people in that. That's like DeFi NFTs. Really, really cool. A big shout out to Gerardo and the Mintra team. The site's looking hot for the NFT marketplace. Really is looking smooth. And all those people that sacrificed for that will be very excited having Mintra coming up to be launching imminently. It's going to be a lot of fun. So Pulsechain just keeps expanding, folks. It's where it's all at. It's where all the growth is at. All the dev teams are at. The big X potentials are still sitting there waiting. And it's going to be exciting to see, folks. It really is going to be cool. All right. Yeah. PSI says the Access token is a good example of how market cap doesn't mean anything. Great dude, though. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's jump away from that. Let's play out some music on the way out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Get into Discord. The link's in the video description. Catch you guys the same time tomorrow, man. And it's going to be day 147. We're going to be talking about day 147 tomorrow. Enjoy yourself and have a great day. And I will see you on the other side. Bye for now. Let's play out some cool music. And we're going to play our favorite here from the founder as well, RH. Let's go. Peace out. Bye for now.
My $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all product shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada shirt. right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.